All right, so we're looking at shoulder, what I call kind of mobility and stability. And we're going to start standing. And I did ask if you could have some sort of myofascial release object. So this is a official myofascial release ball, but you could have a tennis ball or even a dog ball, anything round. So let's start off stand. We'll just do a little exploration of some myofascial release as we go. So let's start off standing, just find your feet underneath you. And then just bring the energy up so you can sort of, the first moment of kind of engaging kind of glutes and core and elevating your chest and feeling like you're standing nice and tall, sending your crown way up to the ceiling. And just come into your breath as a means of coming into your internal awareness. So you want to be standing tall so you can even move your shoulders around a little bit so you can explore having that arm bone right in the arm socket, as opposed to more typically it would drop forward as opposed to dropping back for people, but really placing that in the socket, your arms dangle down. Sometimes if you turn your hands forward, it brings that arm bone in the socket a little more firmly. And notice with your breath, you'll feel some movement in the rib cage, and then see if you can notice how the rib cage is connected to the shoulders. So there's like some information that goes into the shoulders with each inhalation and exhalation. Just noticing that for a moment. All right, so staying really solidly strong on your legs, right? Maintaining the uplifting of your core. I'm going to get some keys out of my pocket. Let's play with these arms, right? So we have these two objects and they can do all kinds of things. So why don't we start with connected to our shoulders, right? So let's start with I'm just going to take it up and then let it swing down and just sort of let it swing. So it's going to swing up as high as it wants to swing, and swing back as high as it wants to swing. Everybody might be a little bit different here. So just staying on the same side, feeling really supported, noticing any information you're getting from the shoulder blade, which does move slightly. Shoulder blade moves when I sweep up, right? It's going to tip up so I can sweep up, but can stay flat on my back while it does this. All right, one more time up, one more time down. Let's change the arm. So I've got this other object over here that can do the same thing. Talking about my arms as objects. Notice any differences, one side to the other side, a couple more times. Great, so I can go up and down like that. I also can kind of make this kind of diagonal shape. So just sort of feel like this kind of, take this diagonal shape with the right. Notice how it feels. Notice the information that comes in. Couple more this way. All right, and then the other, so we're going for this diagonal kind of, just this little diagonal. Solid in the legs, solid in the core. One more time. All right, great. So now let's turn our attention to the shoulders. So let's shrug them up. So I'm just going to pull my shoulders all the way up to my ears, as high as I can come. I'm going to take them forward, which pulls my arm bones out of the socket. I'm going to pull down, and then I'm going to retract back, which is going to bring my arm bones into the socket and my shoulder blades together behind me, and then go again in this direction. So I'm really doing this exaggerated circling of the shoulder blade and the arm bone. We'll change direction after this. Okay, so come back down and back. Okay, so now now really draw them down. So depressing the shoulder blade, come forward, come all the way forward, come all the way up and retract back and then depress. So those are all the positions we can take. We can protract, which is coming forward. We can elevate, which is coming to my ears. We can retract, which is pulling my shoulder blades back together. And I can depress, which is lowering everything down. One more times in this direction. Big motions. All right, great. Now, let's play a different way. So I'm going to make 2 right angles with my arms, and let's feel the rotator cuff next. So if I push my hands out to the side, and I want to push as far as I can go, right? So I, Andrea, can go fairly far. You're going to go in your range of motion, and the range of motion may not be identical left to right, depending on things that you've done in your life. So the rotator cuff are 4 muscles that hold the arm bone in place. So they're in here, and they're back here, right around the edge of the arm. And we're gonna do some release with the ball in that area. It can be really tender. Couple more. All right, relax everything, kind of shake it out. The next thing is a little bit more challenging. So I've got these 2 L's again, and I want to float up till my elbows are shoulder height, and then float back down. And the trick is that I want to keep my elbows underneath my hand, as opposed to, like, it would be so much easier if I could do that. This is so much easier. You can test it. This is harder. So I'd like to keep these elbows in if I possibly can. Nice strong core underneath. I always sort of say we're never not doing our core, right? Even if we're focused on something else. And I really feel, we'll explore this in a moment. Couple more. All right, release everything down. So I always point this out that there's a box, which is our shoulders and our hips, right? That makes a box that is really contains our core, right? And everything that we want to be really strong in the center of us. And the shoulders are the top, so that so just do this as an experiment. Let everything just totally collapse your upper body. And don't you feel like your core just kind of let go completely, right? So now to undo it, draw in your glutes, draw up your core, draw it up, you'll lift your chest, settle your shoulders down, right? So, and then, woo, everything's, right? So the shoulders are really a partner to core strength in a nice way. I think we'll do core next week. Okay, so let me glance at my concepts here. Okay, let's do another one. This elbow lifting got engaged with some muscles that go down here and then into the tricep. We're gonna do something else that does that too. So cactus arms, so I'm shoulder height, right? I'm not down here, not up here, I'm shoulder height with where my elbow is, and my hands are right above my elbow. And that now I wanna wave in, my hands are gonna come together and a little bit extra effort to squeeze my elbows in, right? So that is gonna be that similar sensation that we had in the lowering and lifting in the front. So squeeze it as much as you can. Everybody's a little bit different here. We appreciate the differences. One more. All right, and relax down, shake it out, shake it out. Let us come to the front of our mat, and we will take 3 half sun salutations first. So we're going to draw our arms up overhead, coming up, really lengthen your torso. You can take a little back bend if you like here. Then I'm gonna, and inhaling. Then I'm gonna exhale and hinge at the hip and bend at the knees and bend at the ankle and just drop everything down. Really relax my head and neck down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up and exhale. Hands in front of my heart. We're going exactly again. So we're going to inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale. Hands in front of my heart one last time. We're going to inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up and exhale. Hands in front of my heart. And then we will go down one more time to do some work lower down on the mat. So inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. This time I'm going to exhale, forward fold. And let's take my knees underneath me, underneath my hip, and my hands are underneath my shoulders. If I have a lot of wrist difficulties, I can be on fists here. Otherwise, I like to spread my hand wide and use my whole hand here. And we will come into a traditional cat and cow. So I generally untuck my toes here. And I want to inhale. So my belly fills, my pelvis tips up, my shoulders draw back towards my hips as my head lifts up, full cow. I'm going to exhale, scooping everything under, my pelvis drop, my head is dropping, my shoulders can come forward slightly into my scaredy cat place. And then I'm going to inhale and keep going. This can be at your own pace. Nice, full, rich movement with your breath. Full. Exhale into a cat, and then inhale and just lengthen your spine down to neutral. So your neck is in line with your spine. See if you can lengthen that tailbone so the pelvis is in neutral. And just breathe here for a few moments. We're going to do a smaller cat and cow, just using our thoracic spine and our shoulders. So it's a little more targeted. And we're going to leave the pelvis and the core more in place. So the work is in the upper back. So what we're going to do for that is I'm going to inhale and I'm just pulling my shoulders back and I'm looking up, and my thoracic spine is getting a little concave here, a little bit back bend like. Then I'm going to exhale and I'm dropping my head, my shoulders are dropping forward and my upper back is rounding up. So the shoulder blades are really sliding down my back to come into cow. My shoulder blades are going to release and separate a little bit more like a protraction here. So it's like a retraction and protraction of the shoulder blade inside of this smaller, what we call sort of a thoracic cat and cow. Okay, so it's just the upper body. Keep going a couple more times, just feeling what you feel. Using your breath. And once again, come out and find your neutral. And then separate your knees, toes together. Let's slide back to child's pose. So my hips are sliding back, my arms are going to reach forward. My head is going to land on my mat, my forehead on the mat, and just a couple of cycles of breath here. Then inhale, come on up. So we're gonna, oh, I'm gonna change my mind. Let's sit down first. Let's sit down comfortably. So I'm gonna take my right leg in front. And we're gonna do a little bit of kind of easeful stretching, and then we'll start to work on this idea of this scapular push-up, just the idea, which is what I was going for in the all fours, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna progress. So let us, sitting up nice and tall, my shoulders are right over my hips. I'm gonna inhale my arms up, and I'm not mirroring you. I'm gonna exhale, and I'm gonna just side stretch over to the right. I do have my right leg in front. Then I'm gonna inhale up, and I'm gonna exhale and twist my shoulders and my rib cage and look back behind me. And then I'm gonna inhale and come up, just relax my arms down. Now let's switch the cross. So now my left leg's in front. Inhale my arms up. Exhale, take that twist, side stretch over to the left. The right hip stays down on the ground. And inhale up, and then exhale and turn the shoulders and rib cage, look back. And inhale back and relax down. All right, great. So change the cross again. And this time I'm going to take my arms forward, and I'm flexing my hands like I was planking. So I'm going to turn to the side to make sure this is clear. So I'm sitting up nice and tall, hands like I was in a plank. And right here, my shoulder blades are on my back, and this is what we would call the retracted position for the shoulder blades, because they're just sitting right there on my back. And what I want to do is protract them by pushing as if I was pushing the floor away and letting my shoulder blades wrap around almost like I'm taking them underneath my armpit. That's protraction, and then retract them back. Protract, retract. So just feel how this feels, because next we're going to add some body weight to the equation. We'll build up to this in our practice. Okay, one more time, protract and retract. So just notice all of that, and then come back to all fours. Your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hip, your spine is nice and long, and you're looking straight down. So what we want to do here is the same thing. So now I've got body weight under my arms, right? So I'm in neutral right now. So my shoulder blades are retracted. To protract them, I'm pushing the floor away, which does round my thoracic spine as I pull my shoulder blades down here and then retract. So I'm doing the same thing I was doing seated, but I've got the information of having my body weight partially in my upper body, because I've also got body weight support from my legs. One more time, protract and retract. Let's go ahead and tuck our toes and think about coming up into a downward facing dog. So organizing your arms, shoulders, feet strong underneath you, legs strong underneath you. Let us inhale, floating knees and then floating hips all the way up. And when you get up there, you can go ahead and pedal inside your dog. Feel that your weight is even in your hands and in your feet. It's exploring how it feels today. Your arms are by your ears. Hands are strong. Shoulder blades on your back. They're tipped up to allow your arms to be overhead, but they're flat on your back. And then you can inhale, just lift your hips up and away without any pedaling now. And exhale. Beautiful. Now we're going to slide forward into plank and just feel this movement in our shoulders. So I'm going to inhale here. I'm going to exhale, just slide forward to plank. And inhale up. And exhale, slide forward to plank. Inhale up. And exhale, drop into your plank. Feel strong shoulders underneath you. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, you're in plank. Let's breathe here for a moment. All right, we're gonna lower ourselves to the ground. So you can just put your knees down, put your chest down, do a half chaturanga or a full chaturanga, whatever you'd like to do. Let's lower ourselves to the ground. So you're taking your choice of how you lower yourself to the ground. Untuck your toes, your hands are underneath your shoulders. And we're going to come into cobra. So pressing your hands down, inhale as far up as you want to come. Keep those elbows hugged in to the torso and exhale and lower down. So everybody's picking their height here. Inhale, exhale. Feel how the back of the shoulders, back of the ribs lift you up. And exhale back down. And inhale. And exhale back down. From here, I'm just going to slide myself back to a child's pose. I'm going to ask for something different with the arms. Take your arms back behind you, clasp. Roll your shoulders back and lift your arms off your body, however far it goes for you. Breathe here. Right, release that. Let's come forward to an all fours and we'll get ready to come on up using down dog to take us back up to standing. So strong arms, strong toes and legs. Let's inhale, knees and hips all the way up. Open our mouths and exhale. Let's inhale on our tippy toes and exhale and walk forward to forward fold. However many steps it takes for you to get there. Forward fold. Super relaxed down here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale. Hands in front of your heart. All right. We will begin a standing series here. And so starting at the front of my mat, and we're gonna use chair as part of it. So let us inhale and just grow beautifully tall in your inhalation. And then your exhalation, hands onto a mudra, sink into chair. So your chair could be a little bit softer, lower, or it could be lower down. So you're gonna pick the chair you wanna be in. And I'm going to inhale here. So you don't have to imitate me. Inhale here. Let's exhale and twist to the right. Nice twisting of the shoulders, thoracic spine. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. And inhale, center. We're going to exhale and from chair, step into warrior two. So picture before you do it, picture where your arms are right now. Inhale here. When I exhale, I'm stepping my right foot back, and I'm going to open my arms out till I'm in warrior two, and I can look out over my front arm. And I want to feel, actually turn your palms to the front of the room. You can keep looking out over your left arm. I think I said the wrong arm, left arm for me. And feel where your shoulder blades are right now. Just notice where they are right now. And just breathe. So this is just being observational. Your core is engaged, lifting, you're very tall. Just feel it. So keep breathing. I've got to close a door. You can keep breathing here, just being really observant there. I have to close the door.
What happened here?
And then when you exhale, step back into your reverse fold. Inhale. And exhale, then inhale my arms up. So exhale over into side angle. So as I come over, I'm really open to the long edge of my mat, and I'm going to rest my elbow for starters on my knee. and lift my arm up, either straight up, or if I can manage to keep my shoulder down, I can take the arm right up and over my head. So again, feel really strong in the torso, really elevated. And your arm is on your leg, but you're not dependent on it. Let's inhale here and exhale here. Let's inhale, let's come up, 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 and exhale. First our warrior. Inhale, arms up. Now when we exhale, we're gonna step right into chair, right at the front of my mat. I'm gonna step into my chair pose, whatever it was, or whatever level my chair pose was. Let's inhale here. Exhale, turn my shoulders to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn my shoulders to the right. And inhale, center. Then exhale and step back. Warrior to other side. So once again, aim your palms to the back of the room. You can look out over the right arm. And just notice where your shoulder blades are. Breathe as you lengthen your torso. Inhale together. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Inhale, my arms are up. Exhale, take me over into my side angle, feeling so open, the long edge of my mat. So this top shoulder is really open. And then we'll inhale, so come up, exhale, to reverse. Right here. Inhale, arms up, and we'll exhale. We'll step back into chair. So we're going to continue and add on. And this time I want to change my arm position. So I'm just going to drop my arms and hang my arms down. Then I'm going to pull my arms up, and I'm going to decide what level I want them at, right? So I could stop there, or I could keep going in there up by my ears. So you pick your arm position there. Let's inhale and exhale and inhale. And when I exhale, I'm going to step into a reverse warrior. I'm going to skip warrior 2. And exhale and step into reverse warrior. Cycle of breath here. Inhale my arms up and exhale over into side angle. Now I want to play with the bind. So I'm going to drop my right arm behind me. And in a half bind, I could reach it all the way around, or I don't have to. Wherever it's comfortable for me is fine. And I want to just play with a full bind too. So full bind, I actually want my hand to be available because I'm going to reach under with this arm to find it. So here I'm completely bent over, but then what I need to do is really open everything up so I look like I'm in, so it looks the same, right? So there's my side angle there, and here's my side angle in the bind, right? So that's my ambition. So play with that, see what you got. You can do a half bind or a full bind. And let's release and inhale up and exhale. So we're going to inhale up. When I exhale, I'm stepping into my chair with my arms reaching. Inhale here. Exhale, step left foot back. Exhale, reverse warrior. Second side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. So find that side angle first. So really feel what this is for you. And then keep breathing naturally. You're going to drop your hand so it's available. And then you can reach under if you want the full, or you can just do the half bind, whatever is good for you. And then just open, open, open to the long edge of your mat. So you're in the same side angle position you were in with your arms freer. And then release and inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up, let's exhale and step out. And we got more to do. So let's inhale here. Exhale, step back, reverse your warrior. I'll tell you what's coming. Breathe in here. Inhale, arms up. exhale, so find side angle, first side angle. And then find my second version of side angle, whatever it is for me. And then release and inhale up and exhale, reverse. And then inhale, arms up and turn so you're facing the short edge of your mat. And we're going to, your hips are still relaxed wherever they are. We are going to do a variation of warrior 3 with eagle arms. Different variations. So what that means is I'm gonna tee out my arms. And for starters, I'm going to put my right arm underneath my left arm and I cross them. And then maybe I meet like this, or maybe I can go one more round. Everybody's a little bit different, whether they can tangle that much, but however much you can tangle your arms, and then come to the front. And I'm trying to lift this up. And so I'm almost like, I can't even see where I'm going in a sense, but it's okay. So inhale here, and then we're gonna exhale and come into our warrior 3, right? So that's my ambition. So let's catch up together so we're ready to go. So inhale and go taller. And then exhale, take yourself forward into your warrior 3. This happens to be my weak ankle, so I'm slower, I'm less here. Oops. Do what you got, I'm doing what I got. All right, then inhale and release everything and exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, arms up, we're gonna do it again. Exhale, stepping, I've got long arms, long arms in my chair. Inhale here. Exhale, step back, reverse your warriors. Last second time. Inhale up, exhale. First version of side angle. And inhale and exhale, second version of side angle. And then inhale all the way up and exhale. Inhale, arms up, so I'm ready to consider a warrior 3 like thing. So my arms are teed out, my left arm's under, my right arm's on top. Tangle my arms however they tangle for me, lift my elbows up. And inhale, I'm going to go taller. When I exhale, I'm going to come forward into my warrior 3. Balancing on my right leg. Hips are square. And inhale to step. Inhale to step back. Exhale, release everything. Reverse your warrior. Arms up. And exhale, when you step out, you're free to just do anything. Step out and just shake everything out. That was a lot to just get rid of everything. Okay. So let us go down. Our peak pose is down on the ground. So let's descend one more time. So standing at the front of your mat. Let's inhale, taller. And exhale, still taller. And then inhale, arms are up. Exhale, forward, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now let's linger here so you can grab onto your elbows. Let's just really enjoy relaxing here. Let the tension out of the shoulder system, maybe sway from side to side. Beautiful. Then you can put your hands down so you can take your knees back. And let's go ahead and flip around to sit Dandasana. So I'm stretching my legs out, sitting on my sits bones. I want to step nice and tall. So once again, my shoulders are right over my hips, right? So I'm not leaning back and I'm not leaning forward and I'm not scrunched down. Ideally, reach my arms out. So my fingers are pointed. I'm stretching my fingers and I'm flexing my feet and then reverse it. So we're releasing the tension in wrists and ankles. Times. Okay, now, I want to play with this ball. I am going to show, this to you on the ground. But it is, it's often easier to just do it on a wall. So if you could picture, it would be the same idea. So I first want to explore some of the tissues in my rotator cuff. So one of them is right kind of almost under my armpit. So I can put the ball down and then try to get it under my armpit. That's my I'm feeling that. That's my ambition, is try to kind of get it under my armpit. They say you can do this on a wall, or you can do this on the floor. So once you have the ball in a place, you're looking for sensation, not pain. If something's painful, you want to move around and find a different spot. And we're never putting it directly on bone. There's going to be one exception to that I'll explain in a moment. So this is subscapularis in here. They've got some cute names. Just keep breathing. You almost want to inhale and push the ball away, and then when you exhale, let it kind of get deeper in you. We're not going to spend a huge amount of time. This is something that you could, because we could spend an hour doing this. So we're going to just sort of visit each spot, okay? So that's the one that's under my armpit. Now, coming off of that, there's one that is right kind of closer to the top of my shoulder. It's kind of coming in here. So, and it's near trapezius and other things. So if you sort of put a ball here, you're likely to have all kinds of sensation. So kind of just come back on it like that. So you probably are where I want you to be, but you might be in other muscles too, but all of those muscles can have some tension. So sort of just put it, and I really, once I got there, my shoulder just actually relaxed back a little bit. So just sort of see how it feels. And sometimes points, like mine is triggering up into my head a little bit, not unusual. I'm actually blanking on the name of this one at the moment. Subscapularis, it's another S. All right, and then come up a little bit. So the next one that's harder to do on the ground, but you can do it on the ground, is infraspinatus, and this violates so I usually say you don't want to be on bone, but infraspinatus is actually a muscle that's right on top of your shoulder blade, on the outside of your shoulder blade. So if you can sort of convince yourself to kind of lie down and just kind of get this, I missed completely, get the ball underneath your shoulder blade. You could just notice what you notice. Oh, yeah, I got lots of feelings in there. Infraspinatus is an important rotator cuff muscle. So again, you can just see what you got. Moving around a little bit there, or just find a spot and boom, there's a good spot for me, and just breathe into it. All right, and then the last one, just if you slide up and kind of curve your shoulder blade a little bit, then you find another spot, and that's teres major down here. It's actually teres majors and teres minor near each other. Just breathe there. All right, so take that out. We've got the other side. So let's start with subscapularis. So I'm starting with the under the armpit one. Just see what you feel. I've got actually a little less sensation on this side, so it's interesting to compare side to side. This is my non-dominant hand. Inhale, push the ball away. Exhale, lets it kind of sink in. And let's get this top one that I really can't come up with the name of this one. It's really driving me crazy. Usually I can remember my muscles, but this one I don't got. Find a good spot there. So the rotator cuff does all kinds of things for us because it's supporting the arm bone in the socket. It's the thing that major league pitchers blow. You can imagine that repetitive motion. All right, and then slide down so you're on the infraspinatus. Ooh, this side's, that's something. Then slide down further to get the teres major, teres minor. So I've got 3 of the 4 names. All right, and then just come off the ball and come around. I promised a peak pose. So the peak pose is going to be doing the scapular push-up, and you've got an option of whether you can continue to do it on all fours. So you can continue to do it on all fours. You can drop down to do it in a half plank, or you could choose to do it in a full plank. So make your choice, and then we're just doing the same scapular push-ups. So I'm going to protract and retract. Keep breathing. Couple more times. All right. Take yourself down and around, and we will come supine for the first time this practice. So, I like to, when we've got this shoulder focus, to use Gomkhasana supine like that when my body weight is involved with holding my arms in place. So for Gomkhasana, let's take our right hand, and I'm just putting it behind my head, kind of right down my neck a little bit. So wherever it lands for you is fine. And that is externally rotating your right arm. Then your left arm, you're going to put underneath you, and you can kind of go up your body a little ways. But you don't have to do anything big and heroic, because just being underneath you, you've taken your left arm into internal rotation. Your feet are on the ground, and just breathe here for a few moments and just feel the sensations of this. We're going to take ourselves into a spinal twist, but start here. All right, so let's inhale here. And then when I exhale, I'm just dropping my knees over to the left, so towards this elbow. And I might even feel my less weight on my hand, depending on where your hand is underneath you. And let's turn our head towards the right. So look away from, I'm looking away from you to the right, and then we're going to just breathe and be in this spinal twist. So turning my neck completes the spinal twist. So breathe. Bring our knees back. And then free your left arm, maybe tee it out, your right arm, tee it out. Maybe flip your palms up and down just a few times, just relax everything. And then we're ready to go second side. So my left arm is gonna go behind my head, down my neck. My right arm's gonna go underneath me as far up as I want to bring it. No need for heroicism there. My elbow kind of comes in tight to my body. My feet are still on the ground. And just breathe here and just feel this Umakasana shape in the upper body. Now, dropping your knees towards the right, so towards the right elbow, and then turn your head to the left and to complete the spinal twist, and we'll breathe here. So knees in, release your arms, tee them out for a moment, maybe flip your palms up and down. And then we're ready for happy baby. So you pull your knees in, your feet are available for your hands to grab onto. And then just kind of happy baby, whatever kind of kicking or whatever you like to do inside of your happy baby. See if you can release any tension and muscles from the work that we did just in preparation for Savasana. When you feel ready, you can lengthen your legs and lengthen your arms. I do like to invite the palms up as a means of dropping the shoulder down into back towards the mat. See if you can feel that. Everybody's a little bit different there. We'll come into our breath. Feel like your hands are super relaxed. Your feet are super relaxed. And then in your mind's eye, start at the center of your sternum. And just draw a line and just take your mind's eye right along your collarbone, all the way out to where your collarbone connects with your shoulder. Then keep going with your mind's eye till you reach the top of your arm bone. And explore the arm bone in that glenohumeral joint. Shallow joint there. And then go along back so you can trace and go follow the shoulder blades on the back of the body. Those are the three key bones in the shoulder system: shoulder blades, humerus bones, and collarbone or clavicle. Right, and shoulder blades are also scapula. They both have two names. And then there's all kinds of muscles that work here. We explored with our myofascial release ball the four muscles of the rotator cuff holding the arm bone in place. The rhomboids and the serratus anterior are the muscles that control the shoulder blades, protraction and retraction that we work with. And then the deltoid muscle cooperates with the rotator cuff to do all of your arm gestures. Just breathe, and again, noticing how the movement of the rib cage interacts with the shoulder system. And we'll be still for a few moments, still in quiet for a few moments of silence. Then let that movement invite more movement of foot and hand that starts to get into wrist and ankle. Just keeping all of that movement to get longer and stretch the whole body. Yeah, two choices to come up. You may roll to your side or you can rock up. So just take it as you like to take it to come up to a seat. For a moment, it looked like nobody was there. And sitting up nice and tall, shoulders are hovering over your hips. Let's have some final breaths together. Let's inhale through our nostrils. And then exhale and just sigh it out. See if you can sigh it out through your shoulders. Inhale and sigh. And sigh. Thank you for joining me for this shoulder exploration this today and this week. We'll return next week with kind of building from shoulders down into the core and playing with those connections. Thank you. And I will stop the recording.